Scene 17. Toss the script. Be a yardstick of quality. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is the consummate presenter for 21st century audience who want to engage in conversations, not lectures. Jobs has a casual speaking style, an informality that, as discussed in the preceding chapter, comes from hours of practice. Practice allows him to work largely without a script. During demonstrations, Jobs conceals notes discreetly from the audience but never reads them from word for word. The notes serve only as cue cards for the next step in the demonstration. Jobs performs largely without notes for the majority of his presentation. As suggested in Scene 8, most presenters create slidements, documents masking as slides. Slidements act as a crutch for mediocre presenters who read every word on the slide, often turning their back to the audience to do so. Jobs does have a script, largely in his head. His slides, which are highly visual, act as a prompter. Each slide has one key idea and one idea only. After Jobs pulled the new MacBook Air from a manila envelope in the holy shit moment at Macworld 2008, he explored the new computer in more detail. As you can see in table 17.1, his slides contain very few words but contain just enough information to act as a prompter for one idea, one theme per slide. Jobs went on to explain that MacBook Air had the same processor used in all of Apple's other notebooks in iMacs. He marveled at the fact that Intel could step up to the challenge, creating a chip with the same power but in a package that was 60% smaller. Jobs then introduced Intel CEO Paul Attalini, who gave Jobs a sample processor. The chip was barely visible to anyone sitting past the front row, but Jobs lit up the auditorium with his smile. "This is awesome technology," he said, making no attempt to conceal his enthusiasm. 5 steps to tossing the script. Great actors rehearse for months before opening night. The audience would walk out of an actor appeared on stage with a script in hand. We expect actors to speak naturally, not as though they had memorized lines. Even though that is exactly what they did, your audience expects the same, a conversational speaker who, instead of rambling, hits each mark precisely. Following are 5 steps that will help you memorize your script while making you appear as natural as a gifted actor or a gifted presenter, such as Steve Jobs. First, write your script in full sentence in the notes section of PowerPoint. This is not the time for extensive editing. Simply write your ideas in complete sentences. Do try, however, to keep your ideas to no more than 4 or 5 sentences. 2. Highlight or underline the key word from each sentence and practice your presentation. Run through your script without worrying about stumbling or forgetting a point. Glance at the key words to jog your memory. 3. Delete extraneous words from your scripted sentences, leaving only the key words. Practice your presentation again, this time using only the keywords as reminders. 4. Memorize the one key idea per slide. Ask yourself, what is the one thing I want my audience to take away from the slide? The visual on the slide should complement the one theme. In this case, the visual becomes your prompter. For example, when Jobs talked about the Intel Core 2 Duo as the standard processor built into the MacBook Air, his slide showed only a photo of the processor. The one thing he wanted the audience to know was that Apple had built an ultra-thin computer with no compromise precise in performance. 5. Practice the entire presentation without notes, simply using the slides as your prompter. By the time you execute these 5 steps, you will have rehearsed each slide 4 times, which is much more time than the average speaker commits to practicing a presentation. Table 17.1. One theme per slide, a Jobs' Macworld 2008 presentation. Steve's words. It's the world's thinnest notebook. Slides. Text only. World's thinnest notebook. Open it up and it has a magnetic latch. No hooks to catch on your clothing. Slides. Photo of computer with the words magnetic latch on left side of the screen. It's got a full size 13.3-inch widescreen display. Slides. Photo of computer with the words 13.3-inch widescreen in the middle of a black display. The display is gorgeous. It has a LED backlit display. It saves power. It's bright and it's instant on the minute you open it. Slides. Photo of computer with the word LED backlit on left side of screen. On top of the display is a built-in eyesight camera for video conferencing right out of the box. Slides. Photo of computer fades, revealing eyesight camera on top of display. Flip it down and there is a full-size keyboard. This is perhaps the best notebook keyboard we've ever shipped. It's a phenomenal keyboard. Slides. Photo of keyboard with the words full-size keyboard on left side of the screen. We've got a very generous trackpad, which is great. We've also built in multi-touch gesture support. Photo of computer's trackpad with the words multi-touch gesture on left side of screen. Again, you can see how beautiful and thin this product is. Now, how did we fit a Mac in here? I'm still stunned that our engineering team could pull this off. Photo of computer from its side with the words, how did we fit a Mac in here? The real magic is in the electronics. This is a complete Mac on a board. What's so special about that? This is how big the board is. Doesn't mention pencil. Lets the visual speak for itself. It's really tiny. To fit an entire Mac on this thing was an amazing feat of engineering. Photo of motherboard with image of a pencil alongside it. The board is smaller than the length of the pencil. We didn't compromise on performance. MacBook Air has the Intel Core 2 Duo. This is a really speedy processor, a screamer. Photo of Intel Core 2 Duo microprocessor. Now, let's put the 5-step methods into practice. I came across an ad for Vanguard no-load mutual funds. It showed 2 glasses of water. The glass on the left contained a small amount of water and the glass on the right was completely full. The headline read, "The lower the cost, the more you keep." Ads such as this one provide excellent examples of how to create compelling visual slides. Assume the ad is one slide. Table 7.2 shows what a hypothetical script written with the 5 steps in mind might look like. I created the content based on information in Vanguard's marketing material. When you're actually delivering the final presentation, if the notes give you peace of mind, by all means keep them available. A major benefit of Apple's keynote presentation software is that it allows the speaker to see notes on the computer screen while the audience sees the slides on the projector. This is harder but not impossible to do with PowerPoint. However, regardless of the software you use, if you practice enough, you will find that you don't need to rely on your notes at all. Table 17.2. Applying the 5-step methods to tossing the script. Step presentation script. 1. How much your investment costs is very important and could have an impact on how much money you make over the long run. In general, the lower the cost, the more you keep. Many investment firms say they are low cost, but the fact is they charge 6 times more than we do. This can cost you thousands of dollars. For example, if you invest $10,000 for 20 years at an 8% return, you would keep 58,000 more with our fund versus the industry average. Second, your investment costs are very important and could have an impact on how much money you make over the long run. In general, the lower the cost, the more you keep. Many investment firms say they are low cost, but the fact is they charge 6 times more than we do. This can cost you thousands of dollars. For example, if you invest $10,000 for 20 years in an 8% return, you would keep 58,000 more with our fund versus the industry average. 3. Investment costs important. Lower the cost, the more you keep. 6 times more. Keep 58,000 more. 4. The lower the cost, the more you keep. 5. Rehearse presentation with no notes. The slides of 2 water glasses, one empty, one full, should be enough to prompt you to deliver the information. The 4 bullets in step 3. How to use notes when notes are a must. Notes are not inherently bad. In a rare glimpse at how Jobs actually does use notes, a blogger took a photograph of Jobs' demo notes at Macworld 2007, famous for the release of the iPhone. The notes were neatly bound and color-coded, tabs separated the sections. The blogger's photo showed the booklet open to the page where Jobs demonstrated the internet capabilities of iPhone. 4 categories were clearly marked in bold and a larger font: Mail, Safari, Widgets, and Maps. Under each main category, there were 2 to 5 supporting points. Let's take one in particular, the Maps section. Here is exactly what was printed on the page. Maps. Moscow West, Starbucks order 4,000 lattes to go. Washington Monument, shows satellite, Eiffel Tower, Coliseum. That's it. These notes were all the prompting Jobs needed to walk his audience through a particular section of the demo. Jobs began by telling his audience that he wanted to show them something truly remarkable: Google Maps on iPhone. First, he opened up the application and zoomed into a street-level view of San Francisco and Moscow West, the site of Macworld. The second thing he did was to type Starbucks to search for a nearby coffee shop. He then called Starbucks on the iPhone and played the prank discussed in scene 12, ordering 4,000 lattes to go. I had no idea that the lattes gag was scripted until I saw the photograph of Jobs' notes on the stage. He played it off as if it was a spontaneous moment, showing once again that Jobs takes nothing for granted. The third thing he did was visit the Washington Monument, double tapping on the screen to bring the map closer. Fourth, he selected the option to replace the map with the satellite photographs. He brought up a live image of the Washington Monument. Isn't that incredible? Right on my phone, he said. Finally, he visited the Eiffel Tower and Roman Coliseum and showed both in the satellite view. He concluded by saying, satellite imagery right on your phone. Unbelievable. Isn't that incredible? Jobs did rely on his script for the demo, but it had been written and rehearsed extensively so that only a few keywords were all he needed to prompt him. Yes, Steve Jobs appears conversational, but by now you should know that being conversational requires a lot of practice, and how you practice makes all the difference. Use the slides as your teleprompter, sticking to one theme per slide and several supporting points. If you forget some of your supporting points, you will at least have hit the main theme. Above all, toss the script. Notes will interfere with the emotional connection you need to establish with your audience, detracting from the presentation experience. Theatrics can turn an average presentation into an extraordinary event. A script gets in the way. Director's notes. Don't read from notes except in special circumstances in which you must follow a step by step process, such as a demonstration. When you must read from notes, create no more than 3 or 4 large font bullet points on one note card or sheet of paper. Create one note card per slide. If you're using speaker's notes in Keynote or PowerPoint presentation software, keep your bullet points to no more than 3 or 4. One is even better. Use the visual on your slide to prompt you to deliver just one key theme, one main message per slide. Think one theme per slide.